Welcome to this episode of Above the Clouds. Today we will look at the transformative power of bhakti. There's a verse which describes that all kinds of persons are qualified for bhakti. Those who have desires and those who are free from material desires. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desires, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. So let a person be desireless, or let him be with many desires, owing to his present situation in life. If he is intelligent and wants spiritual life, then let him worship the Supreme with intense devotion, and the result is that he will transform. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described how natural it is to perform bhakti. There, in the 3rd canto, Kapila says, "The mind is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Did you ever think like this? The mind is not all bad because it gets attached to certain things. No, it has a core, an essential nucleus, and that is that it has a divine seed in it, a divine nature in it. Kapila Dev continues, "The mind's natural duty or constitution is to serve. When that service spirit is engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any motive, that is far better even than salvation." And he says what takes place, what happens when one engages in such service. Bhakti, devotional service, dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate effort, just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat. Look at the transformative power of bhakti. It is compared with the fire of digestion, which destroys only the useless portions of the eaten food, but nourishes the life airs, the senses, by the good portions of the food. By this, the body gains strength of muscle, strength of senses, and the strength of mind. Now the nice thing is that bhakti, just like the fire of digestion, will work in you due to its own inherent power. It is self-activated, so to say. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that without a person's endeavor, the fire of digestion digests the food. The person does not know how the food gets digested. Similarly, bhakti liberates the devotee who daily performs hearing and chanting and experiences a sweet taste without striving for liberation at all. For me, as a devotee of Krishna, this is maybe one of the greatest glories of bhakti. I do not need to push myself. I do not need to just try to be a better version of myself and maintain this version against all the mistakes which are sometimes creeping in. No, if I just focus on active bhakti, something is created which is much stronger than what I can bring to the table, so to say. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says how this process of transformation starts from the moment you start bhakti. He says, just as the fire of digestion, from the moment the food is eaten, begins digesting it, but completes the process after 9 or 12 hours or so. So from the very beginning of devotional practice, bhakti begins to destroy material life in the form of lamentation and illusion, but completes the process only after some time. So this is the beauty of bhakti. It works on its own. Now we might ask ourselves, well, what is the qualification for starting such powerful bhakti? And Rupa Goswami describes in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that it's just really only a little taste for this. Even, he says, even if one has a little taste for the topic of bhakti, he can understand it. He, on the other hand, who tries to understand bhakti by dry logic cannot understand it, because logic is always insubstantial. We do know this, that with logical reasonings and arguments you can never argue yourself out of the material world. But bhakti makes something grow within you, a creeper of devotion that grows and grows until it reaches Krishna. This is not illogical, this is a translogical process. Normally we think we can think ourselves out of everything by just understanding the dynamics of a given situation. But you can't think yourself out of this world. You can be very skillful at logic. You can argue better than anyone in your neighborhood. But this is not a guarantee for your transformation. I would like to give a little analogy from how bhakti can bring about a powerful transformation if there is a little taste. Jiva Goswami says, a little taste or a little shraddha, a little faith. It, my little analogy refers to the transformation of a mad elephant. See, at one stage there was a Muslim ruler in Orissa whose name was Ahmad Beg. He was a tyrant who tortured the kings and also the general people in his region. He was so much feared by everyone because it was known that he forced people to accept Islam. And now he had heard about the amazing power of a devotee called Sacinandana. He had heard that this Sacinandana was able to transform people and make them saints, from sinners into saints. And he devised a plan. There was one village which was haunted or visited regularly by a mad elephant who would destroy houses, and he would go so much into a frenzy, he was mad, that he killed even people. So he called Sacinandana to his court and said, you are a very powerful saint. I would also believe in you if only you can give initiation to the mad elephant and make him a humble Vaishnava. So Rasikananda accepted this challenge, and he one day went down the road. He saw the mad elephant entering the village, and seeing him, this elephant began to charge at him. But when he came close, he was captured by the charisma or the atmosphere around Rasikananda and checked its speed. Rasik looked into his eyes and listened to what he said. "O maddened chief of the elephants, listen to me. Worship Krishna and continually serve his devotees. Why are you so engaged in these wicked deeds? Without connection with Krishna, all efforts are futile." And then he said, "Krishna japa, Krishna dhyana, Krishna deha mana." Chant the name of Krishna, meditate on Krishna, and dedicate yourself to the worship of his feet. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. Krishna is life itself. So why are you neglecting his worship and heading towards your own death? Then he gave him another instruction. Be careful not to become proud in the worship of Krishna. Remember Airavata, the elephant of Indra, who was very proud until he was attacked by a crocodile and had to be saved by Krishna, thus crushing his false pride. Remember, Lord Krishna is an ocean of mercy, so give up your pride and worship him. If you listen to my teachings, then the son of Nanda will favor you. So these words, somehow combined with the powerful personality of Rasikananda, made their way into the heart of the elephant. I was yesterday chanting near the forest, and I could see how deers were attracted and started to graze about 15-20 meters away from me without any disturbance, because the holy name can make its way even into the heart of an elephant or deer if they are not, if they have a little faith or a little taste is awakened there. So Rasikananda placed his hand on the head of the elephant. The elephant began to wash his feet with his repentant tears, and then Rasikananda chanted the 16-word Hare Krishna mantra into the right ear. The beast was so charmed that he forgot his previous selves, and Rasikananda named him Sri Gopal Das. When this came to the notice of this Ahmad Beg, he quickly came to the spot and fell at the feet of Rasik. With folded hands he said, "Oh no, I was unable to appreciate your transcendental position. Thus, I ordered you to come to my court. Please, I've acted out of ignorance. I was in Maya. Please forgive me." So, yes, all became good. Why? If someone has just a little taste, a little faith in bhakti, and somehow comes in contact with the holy name, and then does it, of course, regularly, chants it regularly, then bhakti's inherent potency work on him to transform his old personality, the material mind, which is used to certain things. This transformation is as natural as the transformation which takes place whenever you eat, and the fire of digestion turns the food into something that nourishes you, and also takes care that the useless portions of the food, which cannot be used for the health of the body, are burned up and then eliminated. I thank you very much. I wish you all the best in your own application of the bhakti, and please take courage, even if in the beginning there should be still various material desires. Bhakti will act on you, and these desires will be turned. The energy of the desires will come into the desire to serve Krishna. Thank you very much, and see you soon for the next Above the Clouds.